Good morning. This is Dwight Mitchell with a very, very short video this morning, very short broadcast, because I have been toying with a new process. Um, 3D printing is becoming, and 3D printed items are becoming more of a norm these days. And you can get, the 3D printing little businesses are popping up all over the place, and people are doing it from their homes, from their garages, and on big industrial scale. So it you know it's almost you can find a 3D printer in almost any little city or any little town, which is quite good because it means that local economies are being encouraged to grow and to go. However, I want to take 3D printing to the next level because yes, you can metal 3D print, which is still relatively expensive if you think of it. If you want a one-off item, metal printed in Inconel, titanium, it is can still be relatively expensive. But a lot of people over the last, say, 4 years since I've been running this, doing the 3D printing business, have asked me if I can chrome plate or copper plate or silver plate. And I've always said no. I have had in the past. I have had one or two contractors on the books or subcontractors who've done spray chroming, but they haven't lasted very long. So I assume that process is either too expensive or not as popular as it should be. However, with the aesthetics, especially when it comes to your classic cars or stuff like that, aesthetics is very important. So you want shiny, nice, bling bling finish. I have now been toying with a process of copper plating 3D printed items. I've looked on the internet. There are a lot of videos that explain this, a lot of videos that show how it's done successfully, and the end result is amazing. So I have now this week been copper plating two items, which will be I will polish and prepare for Friday. So on Friday afternoon, I will explain the whole process of copper plating 3D prints, what needs to be done, the preparation that I've had to do to get it to a point. Because obviously, the to copper plate, you need a very very smooth finish. So if you try and copper plate straight onto a 3D printed item, it looks a bit yuck. The finish isn't as good as it should be, and it doesn't look good. It really doesn't. Some people might like it. I don't, and I know a lot of the people that I've dealt with in the past wouldn't. So you have to get a really smooth finish on it. There are um, a few methods that can be used and employed to get it to that very smooth finish. I will talk through two of them that I've used in the past to get a glossy, smooth finish on a 3D printed item, and then show you how I've gone from a 3D printed plastic item to a 3D printed copper plated item. I'm actually going to go one further than that. I'm actually going to silver plate the 3D printed item. So copper, 3D printing copper um, is a base. So if you want to chrome plate or copper or silver plate or gold plate or um, an item, specifically a plastic item, but any item, if you're going to plate something, copper is your base metal that you will use to, and then you can then put chrome on top of that, or silver or gold or whatever. But copper is going to be your base material that you want to be using. So I'm hoping that by Friday I would have the process completed to show you the end product. But I will then also go through all the steps that I've gone, and I will show you the process, how I've gone through to from going from a 3D printed item, a plastic 3D printed item, to a silver plated 3D printed item. The finishes will be superb, nice and shiny, and very bling bling. So if you want to bling, but again, it'll be plastic. And why? Why bother plating plastic? Why bother plating a 3D plastic, 3D printed item? What are the reasons? What are the benefits? What is the purpose? I will go through a number of them. I will go through the reasons and the benefits of doing it, the cost per unit, and on size. So again, depending, we will only do anything under about 150 millimeters. I'm not going to try and do anything bigger than 150 millimeters because it's just too big. I'm not going to try and fool people that I can 3D copper plate anything bigger than 150 millimeters. And that's going to be my limit, to be fair. But I will show you. I will show you the process. I will show you how it's done. It can be, and the end result and the benefit of it, obviously. So there's a lot. So if all goes well and I get it polished and cleaned really nicely, by Friday afternoon, I will go through. I have successfully copper plated them. You have to leave the item for 24 to 48 hours before you try and polish it. Otherwise, it's just going to rub the copper off. So, yes, join me on Friday afternoon, and I will go through and I will show you the end result of a copper plated 3D printed item. I'm amazed, and I know you will be too. Anyway, that's Dwight Mitchell from Mitchell & Son Additive Manufacturing. I hope you have a good day, a good rest of the week. Been snowing a little bit here down in Southampton this morning, but not massive. Probably about 2 maybe 3 millimeters of snow on the ground. So nothing to write home about. Anyway, that's Dwight Mitchell. Have a good day. See you on Friday. Join me on Friday.